can't remember what I did there.
Okay, so in 1990, gosh, two, maybe it was two, I read a book called, oh my God, by Andrew Harvey about Mother Mirror. And the next year, I happened to go to Germany, and I happened to be like an hour away from Mother Mirror. And I went on a pilgrimage to see her. And on my, was I on my own? I just got a bus because I did German and Spanish degree. So I
Okay.
ended up going to Germany as I was a little bit boring as a student, I guess. I used to like to go to psychic readings and things like that. And
Not boring, is it?
well,
Alternative.
It's not a library, is it?
yeah. So anyway, so I got the pill because I'd read this book called, I'll remember the name of the book in a minute. Something Journey. I think it's called Hidden Journey. And it's about, like in India, they have people who are born gurus. They go, oh, that child, yeah, this is a born guru.
Oh,
Did not know that.
that's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
They are actual enlightened beings, which is weird because we don't have that in England.
No.
And Mother Mirror is one of these people.
Right.
It's a born guru, and honestly, I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I arrived at this village. It's called Talheim in Germany, and I arrived at 7 o'clock at night because I just found this village, and all these people were walking at 7 o'clock at night to find her. It was like people were coming from all over the world to see her at 7 o'clock every night. And outside her house, there was a queue. And we all went in and we had to take our shoes off and sit in her house. It was all free. Nothing was, we didn't have to pay or anything. And she gives this thing called darshan. So she looks in your eyes. Everyone just sits in silence, and then you go up to the front and she looks at you and she says nothing, and she gives you light. She shines light down onto you, and then you go back and sit down.
An actual light, or
metaphorical light.
Metaphorical light. Okay, metaphorical light. So I was really into it, obviously. So really into it, and then I'm like, I don't know, I must have got somewhere to stay, and then went back the next day, and then I had a boyfriend called Yorg, of course. So I took him the next time. I went back to Dresden because it was in Dresden. Went back and took him, and then when we went again, he counted the seconds that I went up for. When I sat down, he went, "You only got 30 seconds." Bastard. Well, that was the end of us.
Bye-bye, Yorg.
What happened on the second time was really weird. So you see here, it says, show the same reality, compassion, and understanding. If you give reverence to all, the universe will revere. Ultimately, you revere and trust you. It was like I had the weirdest feeling after that time. It was like everything was alive.
I know what you mean, yes.
Everything. It was like this was alive. There was colours everywhere. It was like I wasn't taking anything. It was just like the maddest feeling ever. And that was her. It's called Paramatman Light. Ever read the book? So she's like this deity bringing down this light, and then people come in, and she's like Darth Vader, but the opposite, channeling the good light into people.
Wow.
When I go away now, and I think I've even got her book up there, and now she comes, she'll go and they'll hire a big mansion, and then thousands of people will come to her.
Wow.
But it
doesn't say anything.
No.
Wow.
Let me just find her now. Share with you the mother. it's the weird, I mean, she's so underwhelmed. She's so, look, God bless her, she's quite so.
Oh, and she's cute.
She's so cute.
Like a munchkin.
She looks really cute.
So cute. I even emailed them once and asked them to come to the studio, and they said it was far too small. They needed a mansion. But
They only do mansions,
we
darling.
have to go and have it. I mean, like, she's a real deity. Completely beautiful deity. But yeah, Mother Mira, and that's you know, this is the Paramatman light that she's bringing down. It's the divine, and I guess that's what I've always been searching for in yoga, trying to meditate every day, you know, and find that light within. So when we're talking about here, project positive reverence and internal respect for everything, whether it is negative or unwanted or positive, it's actually that everything has light.
Yes, so I know what you mean in my thing.
So in your thing, you wrote about it.
Like he's like the thought of the Brahman, which is the universal soul, which is it's everywhere. Like it's not like a thing or a person or a place. It's just everything you think of and see and touch and what have you. That is Brahman. That is the universal soul. And our job in our human life is to connect our individual soul to that universal soul.
Yeah.
To be one, to be able to see that connection to that thing. I'm not saying how I prefer that thought, the thought of that kind of God being just everything, rather than the like a single entity somewhere in the sky, which to me it's too separate.
Totally. And the reality is that
However, that sounds really
it's
clever.
everywhere.
Oh, clever.
It's having a weird day.
Well done, girl. Back of the net. Right, so who's
Feeling the
reading?
pressure now, if I'm honest. Feeling the pressure.
Don't feel the light, Vicky. Feel the light.
Just embrace the light and just whatever.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. When you conquer your mind, you can listen to wisdom and let it find deep roots in your mind to serve you, to come to you whenever you need direction. You can also speak that wisdom simply. Such wisdom forms rules for life. If you listen carefully to simple wisdom, it enriches the mind and opens the heart to your own intuition. To complete this talk, let's share some wisdom, some rules to help you live happily and successfully in life, rules that help you deal with your mind and the challenges of life. When this little girl was to be married, I was not well, so I gave her 10 fundamental points to live by. I said to her, I am very sick. I do not know whether I can go or I'll stay, but I am going to give you these 10 points to live by. If you love me, you shall live by these 10 points and you will not be hurt. She's pretty perfect, and if there is something wrong, I question her, but normally she's good and she lives by these 10 points. These 10 points have something to do with our subject tonight. So do you have your purse with you? Gesturing towards assistant. She keeps them in her purse. She's happy so far, touch wood. And nothing has gone wrong with her. She started under the most intense circumstances. I never even listened to her. I said, I won't listen to you. I am marrying you to this man. Now you go on a honeymoon. This is how a honeymoon has to be done. You come back. This is how you have to live.
I hate this.
Are we following this?
This is horrible.
That's a bit weird, isn't it? Let's move on. Right,
Okay.
so we've got the 10 points.
Which
There's
is
our
what we
10.
read.
I don't know what about the marrying to that man, but anyway.
No idea what she's talking about.
Just the fact that he says little girl, it's like, ooh.
She has been with me for over 20 years and keeps notes on what I teach and speak. Is this the same woman? She summarizes the wisdom most intelligently. Come, share with everyone. Read some of those notes to us all. Come on, assistant. Your homework from this talk is to listen and make your mind grasp it. She's reading it, you grasp it. Concentrate. Don't be distracted by your plus and minus and projections and commotions. Let us see. Go ahead. Here are some highlights or aphorisms taken from Yogi Bhajan's lectures between March and June 1994. If you don't love where you come from, you can't love where you are going to. There. You have come from the infinite to merge with the infinite. Infinity in you is your soul. A plant can't live without roots. Your soul is your root. Also fair. Love doesn't give you anything but a glow. In the bewitchment that comes of that glow, even a king will bow to you. Never let yourself or anybody down, and never participate in a letdown. Then Almighty God shall never let you down. Your biggest enemy is your insecurity about yourself. For some, Earth is a 5-star hotel, and for some it's a dungeon. All that matters is how many smiles and hellos you can give to all. Kindness, compassion, and caring with love is real love. That doesn't mean you can't tell someone they're wrong. If they are wrong, and you don't tell them, then you are a coward. That is how you ruin your children. If you don't confront, you can't elevate.
Oh my God, why are we reading this?
You give us it. Sit down with mutual respect and caring, then confront. If you don't do this, you are a waste and aren't even acting as a human, Sophie. More you give, more you'll be like God. More you take, more you'll be a beast of burden. Don't worry and don't hurry. God, if we could all manage these, we'd be bloody perfect.
Yeah.
If your mind is your control and emotional feelings are your guide, you are not human. You are an animal. Feelings are like waves. A boat doesn't need waves, it needs wind. This is an affirmation of self-realization. I shall not sell my consciousness. My consciousness is my awareness of God. The first principle of self-love is that you are not for sale.
That's a good one, though.
Some of them are a bit balmy, aren't they? And some of them are really like, oh yeah, I get that. Where does your love die and you fail and you depart from God? When you are insecure, when you forget, you and God are one. Every beat of your heart is the rhythm of your soul. The voice of your soul is your breath.
Okay, so let's just look through those. I'm thinking at this point we can just take a little break. If you want to go and let's get a note or a pages up and just choose some of those quotes you want to keep. And then go get a drink, cup of tea. Yeah?
Thanks. Got one somewhere. I've forgotten about it. It's gone cold. Sound very nice outside.
Finger in ear lick. Good. Right, so what did you get, Vic?
Well, I also put the one about the plant and its roots, and your biggest enemy is your insecurity about yourself. I also put every beat of your heart is the rhythm of your soul. The voice of your soul is your breath. Like that one. And that love is a self-acknowledgement when you love yourself. Can't remember what I've written in the middle, but basically that you can afford to love everyone else. And the pain one kind of resonated a little bit. So pain is a calamity of challenges. I can't read what I've written, sorry. A calamity of challenges that give us strength within us. And I stopped it there instead of going on any further with prayers, because that's not really fit with me.
Oh, I didn't realise there was another page of them.
Yeah, she moved it.
I was looking on my thing and I didn't realise there was more. Okay, that might have changed it, but I'm still sticking with what I chose.
Yeah, let's carry on reading these other sayings on this other page.
Love is a self-acknowledgement. When you love yourself, you feel so rich that you can afford to love everybody else. Well, I've just made up that word, everybody. Just added an extra word on the end. When your human ego is bigger than your spiritual spirit, then you've died. Harsh. Even if you have everything and you do not know forgiveness, you have nothing. Excuses are self-abuses. Pain and calamity are challenges that give us strength within us and within our prayers. That's why I did the half a sentence. When you're in pain, your prayers become very strong. The moment you open up to infinity, you become infinity. You must enter the Aquarian age with breadth, quickness, and openness, and be noble, courageous, and selfless. If God wants to know you, God will tell you. Don't question him, just be. God within you must have the courage to relate and face the God outside of you. Outside is the reflection, inside is the reality. Human love is for one thing only, to love your soul. Then the infinite world around you will be in love with you. You are not to be a disciple, you are to be a living disciple. What does that say? Discipline, sorry. Can't read this evening. You are to be a living discipline. Never forget God has made you a human. Never misunderstand. He could have made you a snake or a donkey. I think I would have liked to have been a donkey. God made you for a purpose. Those who don't live their purpose live in pain. Every tomorrow is today. Leave a legacy and be one with infinity, and then you will be liberated. Thank you. That is enough. Can you each listen to this? You can measure for yourself how clear your mind is, how much of this whole conversation you grasped, how much of it you understand, and how much has gone in you and taken root. Each root will sprout to give you guidance and the fruit of life. Knowledge is listened to, but wisdom is taken in. Wisdom takes root in your mind. Then, when you need to become neutral, peaceful, calm, and quiet, it sprouts. And what is the fruit of it? Blessings, grace, bounty, and beauty. People will adore you. You have to learn this from your own mind. Your mind is part of the universal mind. Your mind can walk into any mind, read any mind, and give you what you need. Your mind is a very precious thing. God gave you the mind with swings built into it. The mind has the capacity for neutral balance, and it has negative and positive swings. If you stabilize those two sides, then you can weigh everything correctly. Quite like that. The problem is when people use and detach to the ego. They begin to think they are better than the teacher, better than the officer or authority, better than everybody. So their fantasies become their reality. They lose the foundation to be themselves. Life is in a balance. The swings in the mind are there to give you experience and to let you discover the you within you. For all those who will praise and recognize you, there may be an equal number who want to slander you. You may wonder why. That balance and swing lets your standard be tested. You cannot hold to something external. You must find your own depth and test it, confirm it. So, calamity is not a bad thing. Calamity is a right thing. Calamity only tells you that life has a climate, and climate by nature constantly changes. How can you train your mind to handle the calamities? By saying some funny words.
Go on, do it.
Can't see it. Duke Pahasukale. Does that say lad? L-A-J or L-A-I?
LAI.
Guru
Jai.
Sir Guru Grant, blah, 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 blah. You will then obtain joy in your mind and throw away your pain. That was much better. Sung by Sophie.
Fifth Pari of Japji Sahib. The fifth Pari of Japji Sahib. Should we look
Is that
that?
person?
Should we look that up? Because I don't know. It's not with a mirror. You can even get YouTube. Look, I'm all looking at her.
We're banned from YouTube, remember?
Yeah, I know.
What was it? The fifth what?
That was like 2 days ago.
What?
That Mother Mirror 2 days ago.
How weird to be talking about her.
Well, she does. I think they do it every day. They record her every day. So.
Oh.
Or does she like get to do, you know, like she's a chosen one? Like she's had no real control over her life, has she?
Just random people going to see her so she can share her light.
Find the book. It's the hidden. I'm sure it's called Hidden Journey. I'm sure this is it. Is it Hidden Journey? Yeah, it is. I do it. I feel so happy. It's a lovely, lovely book. I'll put it on our WhatsApp. She's just like you're reading. She's better than Yogi Bhajan.
So what has this bloke just written about her life then?
He went to live with her.
Right.
Did she? Was that? Did she allow that?
She has like decided to go and live with her. Just go and look after her and follow her.
I feel like this is why we wouldn't work in our country, because of the way we're conditioned. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like in certain countries and societies and cultures, there's so much more control over people. So they're more, I don't know, less challenging, accepting. I don't think we're very an accepting. I think we're a challenging society, culture in our country.
I don't think the Church of England would accept it, would they?
Not just go and live with some random lady.
As someone as a deity.
I don't think the Church of England has much right to say very much at the moment.
Do
They
exactly?
None of them have. None of them have any religion. They're all dodge.
Which is why I like the idea of God. So now I feel like whenever I read God in these things, I can happily think about God as in the Brahman. I can think about that, and to me, that resonates a lot more. So it makes me more able to read these words.
I think you both live Brahman already. I think you're both very Brahmany.
Very Brahmany. Oh, I love that.
Look at the good in everything. Trying to,
I think a lot of things are done in God's name, though, that just a little bit dubious.
Do you want to know what the fifth Powery is? It says the fifth Powery must be recited when you feel a sense of failure within yourself. When you feel that you are not up to the job, this Powery will grant you all success. It's pivotal in that Guru Nanak tells us that if we serve the Immaculate and Pure One, we receive honor. Sing the praises of the One and listen to those praises being sung, and you become absorbed in divine love. Simply singing is not enough. We must also listen, and as we do, let the mind be filled with love. Guru Nanak tells us what happens when this love floods our consciousness. Your pain shall be sent far away, and peace shall come to your home. Give all your pain to the Guru, and the love of the One will fill your being. In times of doubt and insecurity, when you feel failure around you and pain overpower you, that is the time to chant the fifth Powery of Japji Sahid. You will surrender.
Oh, we've lost her.
We're listening. Don't go away. I'm going to add
Rosie,
it. I found
come
one.
back,
I'm going to add it to the Sadanas. While she's talking about it. Claire,
we lost you then, Claire. We lost you.
Oh.
I've added it to the Sadhana list. I found Ogduk Paha.
It all seems to be about how important it is to love yourself.
That
if you can do that, all these other things fall into place.
Yes.
And so many people don't love
saying to Bella, I said, every time you get that automatic thought, like in therapy, they call it automatic thoughts. People get these automatic thoughts over and over again, like PTSD, coming back and back. Every time you get that thought, do something for yourself. Do something for yourself. Do something for yourself.
Feels very selfish, doesn't it? I don't mean that. I think it's really relevant. I don't mean that we shouldn't do that. It feels like
it's not allowed, and it actually is allowed.
I think, yeah, we've been conditioned that isn't.
always be give, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
But you can only give if you've got something to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think once you realize that it's not selfish and that it is important, it changes your perspective on things.
Yeah.
Maybe outsiders who don't think the same would think, looking in, that it might seem selfish. But in a way, you're kind of being told here that that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, Vic.
Give that calamity to God who has sent it, and take your happiness home. Don't think a tragedy is only a tragedy. It is also to test your courage. In this life, you have all come here fully equipped. You can face whatever comes in your life. Some people get sick, some people get healthy, fine. Some people get poor, fine. With fines, it's all fine. Oh, sorry, the writing's too neat. I need like a piece of paper underneath the lines. Where am I up to?
Right. Here, by the finger.
Some people
By the
get
finger.
poor. Fine. In every case, you have a chance to experience and deliver yourself, and to thank God these karmas are paid. You have this illusion, this maya, that nobody will take care of you, no one at all. You forget a basic reality. God gave you life, husband and wife. God will take care, and God will share its godliness with you.
Okay, Maya. Oh my God, Maya. Do you want to Google Maya? I have a book on Maya somewhere. Can you just Google Maya now?
Maya. Why don't you just bring up loads of stuff? Think specific. Maya.
Did I even read that?
Give me Maya Rudolph. Maya. It needs a context for searching it, doesn't it? Yoga. Maya yoga.
In yoga.
What is Maya? Definition from Yogapedia. What does Maya mean? Maya is the illusion that the world is as it is perceived via the senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. It is the apparent reality of the material world. Oh, we're going into the matrix, guys. The term is closely related to avidya. The difference between that avidya is individual and Maya is universal. In yoga, Maya refers to the world and all of its distractions. It is through yogic meditation that the individual moves beyond Maya to enlightenment and truth.
Yes, that's lovely. Thank you. I can't find the book. You remember I used to have like loads of books out for reading, and I think it got nicked. The book.
Today, it's obvious that it's just a garden hose.
Right.
So that's it. The world is a distraction, and there's some physicists who think that only what you see in front of you exists. That's another one.
You said that ages ago. I remember when we were talking about something ages ago, and you said something about a wall. You said, like, the wall, is the wall really there? And me and Vicky were like, yeah.
Well, I think I said that my stroke patients see and my neuro patients see the world really differently when we had that conversation.
Yes.
And that what is there to us, what's to say what they're seeing is not the reality that actually is.
And then
Especially
everybody has different realities, and
everybody sees the world differently.
Everybody sees, and maybe the colours are different for different people.
They are. What's to say what we see is the right thing? We only learn what we see as we see it because our parents have told us that that's a picture or that's a wall or whatever.
I'm going to try and find that book on Maya. I don't know where it is. I'll find it.
Better carry on.
Yes, go.
The swing of life and mind means we meet, we separate, we meet, and we separate. The guru puts it this way. Oh, good God. Sanjog Vijog Dueka Chalave Leke Ave Bag. That was Guru Nanak. Siri Guru Granth Sahib, page 6, 29th Guru of
Claire,
Sahib.
please. If you could just get on that, please, Claire.
29th Powery.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
on.
Union with him and separation from him come by his will. We come to receive what is written in our destiny.
Do you want to know what it is?
Please.
Mhm.
It says the 29th Powery is a shield of protection. It
Oh, I
protects
like
you.
that.
It protects you from your enemies by simply vaporizing those who wish you harm. In the 29th Powery, Guru Nanak continues his message to the yogis to abandon empty rituals and embrace God's will. The yogis were very specific about their food and all the rituals surrounding it. There were strict guidelines for storing, cleanliness, and preparation. Violation of those guidelines were considered to be a serious offense. Therefore, the stewards who stored and managed the food, as well as those who prepared it, were carefully chosen and held considerable trust. When the food was ready, horns were blown, announcing it. Guru Nanak tells the yogis to make divine knowledge their food and mercy their attendants. Then, referring to the horns that blow, announcing the food, Guru Nanak advises them to hear the unstruck sound, the Anahad Nad, the vibration of creation that plays in every heart.
Ooh, that's cool.
Sanjog. Oh, it tells you there what it means, doesn't it?
Feels like you could make a film about this, doesn't it? Lightsabers.
We love it. I love it.
Be quite cool, like in some kind of like kids' cartoon version, like that. You know, like anime, but like Indian history.
I bet they've got it. I bet they've already, they've...
They must do in India, because this is Hinduism. A lot of it, isn't it? He brought Hinduism into his stuff, did Yogi Bhajan, didn't he? As kind of a base of stuff.
And Sikh Muslim, Sikhism, but the Book of Nanak,
The Book of Nanak. Sounds magical. Ah, the Book of Nanak. You have found the Book of Nanak.
An audio
Cloak on.
might be on Audible.
The Book of Nanak.
Okay, keep going.
The world's way. Keep moving it.
Sorry.
The world's it's tiny already. The world's ways are regulated by union and separation, and the mortal gets his share according to his destiny. This constant exchange between separation and union are the two basic acts that run the universe. What do we get out of it? We get. I read that as Bargy.
Archie.
Bargy.
Moses.
Joy and good fortune in the form of onion products.
Nice. Like some pakoras, please.
Where are we?
Oh, what good food there is.
Joy and good fortune. We get out of it what is us, within us. And if we master the mind, elevate ourselves, and entwine the mind in blessings and gratitude, then we get the bliss and meet the infinite within us. Oh, your turn, Claire.
Okay. Bag Hoag Sant Milaya Prav Abinashi Ga Me Haraya, which is Guru Ajan, Siri Guru Granth Sahib, page 97 from Shabd Hazar. It is my great good fortune that I have met the Saint Guru in my own home. Do you want me to carry on reading?
Yes.
You can just do the tricky bits.
Grace of that God. Then you realize God and me and God are one. This is the beginning of the science of your mind. When you conquer your facets, you speak differently. You pierce the veil of projections. You get into a practical relationship of bliss. You become learned. You become a messenger of truth. You become a balanced human being who is loved, respected, and adored. That sounds amazing. My Lord God, Creator, bless my grace. Give me the strength to serve. Give me the humility to surrender, and give me the power to go ahead in life, to fulfill the needs of those which I can do, imagine to do, or serve to do. May this life of mine be that of grace, and as a powerful instrument to uplift all I touch, see, and live with. Forgive my enemies and bless my slanderers and all those who are waiting for my defeat. Give them the strength that they can test their virtues against yours. Keep your light guiding and shining on my path so I can walk unto thy heart with love, with love, with love. Satnam.
Beautiful.
I kind of like that. That kind of feels like a bit of a burn on the people who don't like you. Bless my slanderers and all of those who are waiting for my defeat, because it's not going to happen.
Going rather well until the word slanderous. I thought you could do that. You could do that at the end of a class, couldn't you? You could read that, and that would be quite nice. Slanderers would wake everybody up.
Slanderers.
It's no different to forgive us my trespassers, though. Forgive us.
Yeah, definitely. There's a definite theme there, isn't there? Definitely.
Yeah, it does have that vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does.
And
but it's kind of like saying how, well, if they think they're so good, almost kind of like, if they think they're so good, they should try and prove themselves. Talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
Yeah.
how do you test your virtue against somebody else's virtue? That seems a bit weird anyway. Who's the nicest?
Yeah, it does feel a bit like that, doesn't it?
I'm the nicest. I'm the nicest. I'm the nicest. Okay. Oh, I'm nicer. I may better.
It's not a bad argument to have with somebody, though, is it?
No.
Who's the nicest? I think I'm the nicest because I do this.
No, I'm nicer. No.
Well, you have virtue signalers, don't you? So people who like tell everybody about their virtues, but actually, do they actually live by them?
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? There's not many people that preach that they're amazing that actually are.
I knew some horrible people who professed that they were the best churchgoers. And I knew them, and I knew they could be quite horrible people. And you go,
I think they're the worst.
But they're there standing next to the priest and doing all the helping out stuff. And I'm the best. I am the best because look what I do. But in reality, it's like, nah, you're not.
My ex-father-in-law was a vicar. Or is a vicar.
Oh.
Is a vicar. He is quite possibly the most unpleasant man that I've ever met in my entire life, as is his son, who studies the Bible on a regular basis.
Oh.
Absolutely horrible. And you know, before he was a vicar, he was a financial director of a car company. And when he retired, he wanted to retire. He retired because he went, I can't be arsed listening to people moaning anymore.
Oh. So but then he went in to be a vicar where people probably moan at him all the time.
Yeah. He was he still is a very unpleasant.
My friend's a vicar and she complains about like how much she has to work. And I'm like, you've chosen a vocation. It's not a 9-to-5 job.
No.
It's meant to be, I imagine, your life.
I should study a bit more yoga.
That to her.
Oh, no, she doesn't want to do yoga because it goes against her religious beliefs.
Well, yes.
What are her beliefs?
Well, she feels like doing yoga leads you down some other path.
Oh. What do you do?
I don't know. I said, but it's not religious. And she's like, well, if we let people do yoga in our church, if I'm seen doing yoga, then it gives the wrong impression to my congregation.
Because it's Hindu or whatever.
I don't know, but it doesn't have to be, does it? Is what I was trying to say to her, but she wasn't listening. It was falling on deaf ears, so I just stopped talking.
That's what you got to do. Step away from.
I can't change her opinion.
You can't.
True that.
So what's the point? I think that a lot now. Like, I can't change your opinion or who you are. You are who you are, and you'll only change if you want to change. So I don't try as much with certain things. Just let them slide.
But she doesn't even know about yoga.
Well, no, she doesn't. It was a bit kind of like, I'm going to stop talking now because this could get messy.
That's the thing. Yeah. Let's not go there. A few topics we don't talk about.
Yeah. Religion, politics, and yoga. There you go. Ooh,
And that's one of the sayings, isn't it? That was one of the sayings, don't talk.
Yes.
When
you know it's going to open up a hornet's nest.
Can of worms.
Yeah, but sometimes it's helpful to talk when you know it's going to open up a can of worms. I mean, if we didn't talk about anything that was awkward, we'd never get anywhere, would we?
That's true. Some things
need to be said.
Yeah.
I don't think actually as a society we're very good at that anymore.
No.
In this country we're terrible at it, in fact.
It's hard to speak your mind.
Anybody can't have a different opinion, can you?
Well, the thing about politics is it's not that. I had a conversation last week with a lady who said, I don't know, and she went out and she didn't know anything about politics, and they all started talking about politics. She didn't know anything, and I just went, not that black and white though. The thing is black and white. Can't just be on one side of the fence and agree with everything they say without being on the other side of the fence and agreeing with what they say. You can't, you have to learn to argue the points. If you don't say anything, then
it's hard in this society though, isn't it? It's really kind of frowned upon to disagree with somebody else's opinion, isn't it?
But it's also frowned upon to like be on both and understand both sides as well. Like to see it from both standpoints. You have to have a position. You have to like align yourself with a kind of choice. But like it's never that straightforward. But
I don't think anything represents my beliefs in general. Like, like if I was a Green, I'd be like, well, you're far too wishy-washy. If I'm a Conservative, I'll be like, you're not green enough. If I'm a Labour, I'm not, I can't align myself with anyone.
No, I felt like that last time. I actually didn't vote last time. I spoilt my ballot. Yeah. Rather than not voting, I spoilt my ballot. It's the first time I've ever done that. So
it's like I feel there isn't even a place for women in politics at the moment.
No, because the women who are there are basically men.
Yeah, they're not women.
They've had to be like men to get where they are.
Yeah, I think we're underrepresented. I think it's time for us to stand.
I'd be too scared.
But if every country had a woman, like had more women, I mean, a lot of countries that have literally no women involved, isn't there? Obviously, they benefit from maybe just one or two. But their voices are not even allowed to. Well,
we've gone backwards. I think the last 10 years we've gone back.
On the other hand, my brother says he called it a dystopian experiment, which is we've been going through the last few years, where they've tried to create a dystopia, failed, and we're now entering the Aquarian age. In fact, I think it was someone was saying this week and last week we are now entering a new age of Aquarius. On this, it starts to talk about this age of Aquarius, but we're now going into another level in astrology as well.
Yeah, there's a big change happening this week, because I know my star sign is one of the ones that it really affects. And I was reading about it. There's a handful of star signs that it kind of overly affects, but it is a big shift, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're going into a different era now.
Mm.
Failed. The aliens are coming.
Mm.
Only to America though.
Who are they represented by? Are they
What, the alien?
the aliens? Yeah.
God knows.
So first of all, as we carry on, right, before we carry on, so I'm thinking, right, we've got next week, and then we've got the week after, and then we'll try and do day 1, 2, 3, see if we've got through everything, and if we've got through everything, then we won't do another 2 hours, because we've still missed it 2 hours technically, but we'll see what we can get through and how we feel. Okay. But what I'd like you to do is plan a 30-minute class.
God.
Lesson 9.
What?
Ah.
What?
Plan a 30-minute Kundalini class for lesson 9.
Oh, okay. That's what I missed. Yeah.
So not next week, the week after.
It's the 18th, so it won't be. It's like, what's that? 3 weeks time. Not 3 weeks time. Yeah.
Yeah. And doesn't have to be, I imagine you could choose a specific chakra if you wanted to, or could it be general?
I would do, my aim for you is to find your own source, isn't it? And your own soul. So find what's resonating with you. If you want to do all 30-minute Kundalini, you can. If you want to do it integrated, or just choose a chakra and do a little bit of vinyasa and a little bit of Kundalini, that's fine too.
Okay. So taking from what we've done, but then also if you wanted to, because obviously, like, I know there are specific yoga asanas that resonate with each chakra, don't they?
Yes.
So you could
those.
Yeah. Okay.
Because look, going forward, when we go onto day 3, you'll be doing an hour of that. So we're just going to do half an hour here as sort of like a winter warmer.
Okay.
And then we're going to do, in that one, we'll do Sahasrara, and next week we'll do Ajna. But we'll do, I just want to just do more talk at the moment. I feel like I'm really getting a lot. I don't know, hope you're getting a lot as well, apart from the dog isn't. But you're getting a lot back from talking. You agree?
Yeah.
You feel that? Let me just get it. Where are you going? Sorry. Go. What?
So still put something on Facebook this week, yeah?
Yeah, so just pull something from what we've been doing, or what, maybe choose something which you've done already, which you liked.
Okay.
Out the chakras, just as a means to do. And then let's do a little bit more reading now. I think I'll pop the live scroll in our next group, next lesson here. Is that clear? Is that clear? And try and do at least one day on your own on the mat. And Adrienne on the other day. And then just do one. Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I can't do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
You're curious, Claire.
Just seems a bit, I don't know.
Bit out there.
I think it's doing one slightly mad movement after another starts to feel a bit funny.
Well, like the one that I did, it was literally she did the Sufi grind, she did the forwards backwards, she did the twisty, and then the frog thing up and down. And I love all of them, so I could easily sit there and just do that. That was all it was. It wasn't anything snazzy. But like, I could just sit there and do that. That's fine. Without anybody, I mean. Alone on my mat.
I think, and then if you write on the journal, like, I mean, what are you going to find when you do it alone? Is it going to be like a vortex?
A vortex.
Mostly I just find my brain wandering off to like, ugh, not in the space unless I've got some.
Like sometimes I'll explain to you, sometimes I've done it and I've gone up to and I've seen things like I've had visions. I've gone up and seen oh, I can't tell you what things I mean, some amazing visions, but one of them I remember was, you know, like I went up to a big library and I saw my life in a book. You know, like in the books, like in like Father Christmas. You know,
Is that a vision? Does that count as a vision? I think that was daydreaming.
I don't know. It wasn't something I intended to happen. It's like a vision is something that, yeah, it was definitely a vision because it was really, really, really clear.
Okay.
And I didn't try and think it. And it's only happens it's only happened to me a few times. The more I meditate, the better I get at it.
Did it not freak you out?
No, it's wonderful. Feels amazing. Like, and sometimes when you're meditating, do you ever get this where you just like your spine is, you're like moving and you can feel the Ida and Pingala moving up. Okay, and we're going to do a lot of meditating on our days together.
Okay.
Okay, chapter
I'd
3.
really love you to find that.
I suppose you can't, it just happens, I suppose, isn't it? Like you can't really pursue it to happen. It'll just occur.
I think
You can't will it.
as in all these sayings, cutting out Maya. So even following me or any teacher, anyone outside is Maya outside of you. And you're going within, that's where you're going to find it. And then it's just going to be like, oh my God, I've gone inside and it's massive. Stop it. 30 women.
I actually wasn't even thinking that until you said that. It just sounded funny. I wasn't actually thinking anything rude. You triggered my mind there.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Do you want me to read?
Go on
Carry
then.
on.
Choose your altitude. Regardless of your history of abuses or kindness, opportunity or challenge, it is within you to direct your mind. You can be a saint, you can be a human, or you can be a demon. We are entering the age of Aquarius in 2012, November the 11th. It will be a new time. The entire psyche is changing. You must purify the mind, body, and soul to be real, innocent, and sattvic. Elevate yourself to be angelic. This age you will all serve is an age of awareness, an age of experience. This transition to that age began in the Piscean age. The Piscean motto was, I want to know, I need to learn. The Aquarian motto is, I know, I want to experience.
Okay.
Okay.
We are at a crucial change of the time.
In all this, what was that? Sorry about the post-its.
Yeah. I was just being annoyed that Claire had larger writing to read than me.
The basic sensitivity of people to their own psyche and to each other is shifting. Now we must all experience and know our mind so we can choose to act in an elevated and effective way. Nothing less will be acceptable in this age of awareness. This is the practical technology to elevate ourselves. Nobody in the West has said it very openly, directly, and effectively. Your gunas, your fundamental quality as a human being and psyche, are your own productivity. You choose with each action and thought the altitude of your mind and life. Everything that happens around you and to you is not your guna, your basic personality or your basic quality. Regardless of your history of abuses or kindness, opportunity or challenge, it is within you to direct your mind. You can be a saint, you can be a human, or you can be a demon. You can act as an animal at the altitude of impulse and ground, as an earthling human at the altitude of feelings and horizon, or as an angel at the altitude of essence, infinity, and the cosmos. It is your choice. Each of you has all three gunas or qualities in you: an animal, a normal human, which I call earthling, and an angel, the sensitive, awakened human. All three are there. When you act as an animal, you ignore your sensitivity. As an animal, you act by impulse and necessity. An animal acts in a very focused way. If hungry, he has to eat. If horny, he has to mate. If threatened, he has to run or kill. The impulse is so strong, it acts as a unifying force for the psyche of the animal. As a human, when you act as animal, you are direct, focused, and robotic, ruled by habit and impulse. When you act as a normal earthling human, you depend upon emotion. All you have is feelings, thoughts, and emotions. You can have so many you do not know whether you should act or not, what you feel or not, or even who you are. The more you depend on that flood of feelings as if that is you, you become more and more mentally corrupt. You lose innocence and the clarity of you as you. When you act as an angel, you are kind, compassionate, helpful, and true to your word. You are peaceful in action and peaceful at rest. You are innocent and direct. You can listen and act in the will of God and the reality of your soul. In this way, the rule of life is very simple. Each day, increase the angel in you and decrease the animal in you. That is all that is required. Most people act like an animal or an earthling, but you also do the worst thing. You falsify your own quality. You develop a false ego, a false reality, and live in imagination about yourself. You are a human, an angelic reality, but you live as if you are an...
Good luck.
I think if you scroll down, it gets bigger. As in, like, if you go, keep on going to the next page.
Next page.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Earthworm. Burrowing into the earth and darkness. You are worse than the earthworm. At least the earthworm is what an earthworm is. There is no duality. Your habit is to doubt everything, question everyone. You doubt so much, you fear so much, you live in fantasy and cannot learn anything. You do not become wise. A wise person does not question anything. Oh, Vicky, we're not wise then, because we question everything.
Well, I'm just going to suck that up.
He has a sensory system that is alert and has intuition. He has an understanding that reads between the lines. Duality is when you have a chance to learn and instead you question. You promote your feelings and fantasy, but you cannot listen. Though you have a mental quality, sattva, to be able to listen, you question intentions, relevancy, ability, everything. That is the worst position of the mind.
Claire, we're doomed.
Well, I think maybe at the end of this, we'll be an angel.
There you are.
Your mind has qualities and they must support your personality and character. Your behaviors will directly reflect and be supported by the qualities and projection of the mind. There are 5 earthly tattvas: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, that are qualities in our senses and in the world. These engage 3 kinds of behavior or 3 qualities called gunas that determine the altitude and attitude.
Oh.
I love how every time she freezes like that.
Oh, bless her.
Or ingrown temperamental anger. That is the worst state of mind.
You froze again,
Oh,
Claire.
you
Sorry.
froze then.
It's very funny.
What?
You
just
froze like this. These 3 gunas are tamas, rajas, and sattva. If your mind is tamasic, you will act stupid, angry, dull, and confused. You may have hidden anger or ingrown temperamental anger. That's the worst state of mind. Oh my goodness. If your mind is a rajasic guna, you'll be demanding, you'll be royal, positive, and active. For your goals, you may make a war, but it's a royal thing with a purpose. If your mind is ruled by the sattvic guna, regardless of conditions, with all things as they are, you'll be angelic and sail through every situation as a saint. You'll be peaceful, tranquil, content. I have been rajasic. I have been tamasic for these last week. I have to say, I have not been angelic in any shape or form. Furious. But I have to become this.
Do you though? Do you? It's okay to be really pissed, surely.
I think so.
Oh, I do too.
I think it's good.
I think it depends though. Like there's people who are like literally ruled. Like you think of people who are really horrible people who like they rape people, they kill people, they swear all the time, they shout all the time, they can't control themselves. Those people fit into that animal one, Tamazic, like that is them.
Yeah, but they're perfectly happy like that. So they're calm underneath because they're accepting of themselves as they are.
But they're horrible people. Like they actively want to hurt other people because there must be trauma there that's caused it that they can't deal with.
Is it, or is it just chemistry in their brain?
For some of them, yes. But not all of them.
No, some people are just nuts.
And they make a decision to do those things.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting how these
everyone's probably a mix, aren't they?
Yeah, like we have all like a basic bakery of this type. We'll reread this, I think, next week. So we've come to the end of our session. So you're going to do daily practice. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And then think about your planning and do one thing up to Facebook. Read if you want. Hopefully we'll get some sort of commentary on 2 and 3 by when we go to our days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we you know that these books, are you wanting commentary on these books, or are these just to read for like interest?
No, I've had commentaries on both of those books if you want to do them, if you choose. So you can choose Beautiful, Bountiful, Blissful as you're reading on, Claire.
You're the only one we've got those books. I've got the other book.
Yeah.
We have to do a trade.
It's like a reading trail
on our day.
But don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you have to do, you know what I'm saying? Just do it as you go. Just enjoy the process and do what you can fit in, because daily practice is enough sometimes.
Okay.
So should we clear the space?
Yes.
Are we ready? And again. And one more. Get excited. Animals get excited when we do that. All right. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you too, Sophie.
Have a nice week, everyone.
All right.
Bella's okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care, girls.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.